everyone.
This is great. Keep going. Yep. Hey, everyone. This is Detroit Alley Cat.
It's Apocalyptic Monday.
I'm here for fun.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's day 13, my 30 days of YouTube, and we're going to do a work vlog, but I'll figure out something weird to talk about. Don't you worry.
Never fear.
If
Alley's here.
If this is your...
And cut. Just kidding.
Oh my god. I'm not cutting. Okay, if this is your first time coming to my channel, I do everything paranormal, true crime, and spooky. But today, I'm apparently going to show you how scary I can be on day 13. But we're at my, our work. We're in the storage unit, and we're going to work for a bit and then take a break and videotape. Yeah, I'll try to keep it interesting. Okay, we'll be back. Bye.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah,
we're back. I looked in the bathroom and I saw that my green was on. I was like, what's
I know. So I was about to like videotape. And no, and then I realized I put the microphone on Paige and she's in the bathroom. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this. But
it's like, has this been on?
We are going back. We're going to call it an early day. There's like something in the air. I don't know. My daughter insists something about Mercury, retrograde, Cancer, whatever the fuck that means. To be honest, I'm confused. But I can tell you that it is very chaotic feeling. And I don't know about you. I have anxiety. And I know a lot of people don't like to admit this, but I pick up on stuff really easy. And my anxiety is super through the roof. I know my girl here has had a weekend, and we are trying to push through, but it's hard, and we're both workaholics. I don't know how you guys do this 30 days of YouTube, because this right here, this is real. Like, I can't even fake that everything's cool. Like, I got into an accident, things happened on Sunday. My daughter got a really weird message on Sunday night or Saturday night, and she told me what it said, and it rattled me. It like rattled me. And then one of my favorite social media people, they posted some really messed up stuff. So I'll tell you what they did. There's this dude that like is homeless and he wears pigtails and he like saves and rescues cats, and he's kind of mentally ill. And you can tell, and this conservative guy, I don't want to talk politics on my channel, so don't do it. This conservative guy, like, reposted it and was like, if I see this guy around my, like, niece and nephew, I'm going to beat them up or some shit like that. And I was like, I think this dude's homeless and mentally ill. I don't know what you're trying to talk about, but, like, when did we start beating up homeless people? Like, you're some YouTuber with, like, billions of dollars. Maybe not billions, but at least millions, you know? Like, why do you need to pick on somebody who doesn't even have a place to sleep? Who just wants to rescue cats? Like, I get it. He wears pigtails. It's freaky. It's unsettling. He's an elderly guy, so he doesn't look anything like a woman. But at the same time, like, dude, so freaking what? Like, does it bother you? Has he done anything to kids? No. Why are you blasting him like this? Get a life. There's a lot more horrible people to blast. Like, jump on that Epstein crap. That's still going on. But like, you want to talk about a homeless person? Fuck you, dude. For real. I can't stand that shit, to be honest with you. Like, but I think I'm going to talk about chaos theory today, because like, that is definitely in the air, and I'm sure some of you know what it is and some of you don't, but I'm big into chaos theory. Okay, I'm gonna go home now. Bye. Do you know what chaos is?
Crazy?
No. It's actually a mathematic problem. Have you ever heard of it? Chaos theory?
Heard you say it earlier.
Okay, so chaos theory is like when you have all these things and they're going in all different directions and it appears to be chaos. Like it makes no sense, right? And then, but mathematically, it's got a pattern and it all makes sense and it all interlinks in the middle to make one.
Even if it doesn't make sense at the
No.
time, it's doing its workings.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the chaos star on my back?
I know that that's what you have. Yep.
So
And I know that Blue Crow used to be chaos before.
I would say Blue Crow was never chaos, but I guess
Well, but yeah.
I owned it and my
Right.
nickname was Chaos. All right. That's all. I just wanted to ask her if she knew it because I'll do a little segment next. But everyone say goodbye to Paige.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for tuning in. This is your one and only Detroit Out.
Shut up. I am back. I'm all red in the face from being outside. Hello. Welcome to my area in my house that I chill out in. Apparently, chaos theory is supposed to be complex, but I'm just going to let you know my thoughts. And before we go on my thoughts about chaos theory, I would like to say I am not a scientist, doctor. I don't have I do have a bachelor's degree, but I don't have a the 7-year degree after that. I can't think. Every time I go in the heat, a doctorate, the one under that, I don't have any of that. I just am myself. The reason that I like chaos so much is because I feel like it's been my life, honestly. And a lot of people that are scientists or, the technical people will think that I'm crazy. So I'm going to explain why people would think that I'm crazy so that normal people can kind of understand. Chaos theory is actually a mathematical problem. And that's the part that I think is really cool because before I really got into chaos, I didn't know there was a mathematical side that scientists studied. All I knew is that I felt like my life was absolute chaos going in all different directions. And in the center of it was me. But at the same time, it seems like there's no order or connection to any of this, but there is. It's all connected in the middle, and it's a pattern, and it's chaos. But at the same time, it's not just disorder. Disorder and chaos are completely different things. And what's really cool about chaos is that one of the ways to explain it the most, I can't believe I'm doing this, is the butterfly effect. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the butterfly effect. It's this movie when I was in my 20s that came out, but it's also a thing, a real thing. You can watch the movie, but I'm going to give you like the gist of the real thing. So the butterfly effect is basically when one thing that alters your life course, like one thing that happens in your life, can completely change your entire life course. And in this movie, you would watch all the different scenarios that would completely change this person's life course. And it's really crazy. But I looked up the real thing. The most famous hallmark of chaos theory is the butterfly effect. Coined by the meteorologist Edward Lorenz, it suggests that a minor alteration in a system, the flap of butterfly wings in Brazil, can theoretically trigger a tornado in Texas weeks later. Because complex systems like the weather or the stock market involve an infinite number of variables, any measuring error at the start amplifies over time, making long-term predictions of the impossible, which I'm all about. And I know that's like, I just think that everything is really connected. And the crazy thing is yesterday I was talking to my AI. I like to do that. I don't know how you guys feel about ChatGPT. I like think that it's the beginning of something beautiful and the beginning of something awful. Like I think that AI without control will be the destruction of us. because one day somebody's going to ask it, can you cure cancer? But then people will be associated with cancer. Well, cancer isn't a person. So if you terminate cancer, you have to terminate the person. And that's the simplistic view that AI will have. So get rid of all the people, no more cancer. And I think that that is possible. I think that there are a lot of corrupt men with a lot of money, and one day somebody's going to say, use this AI as a weapon. And then that movie, if you didn't know, that's one of my favorite movies, Terminator. That movie, Terminator, is going to come to be. And I think that's real. But let's go back. So I was talking to my AI about chaos theory. And the only reason that this came up is because if you ask ChatGPT to analyze your personality based on all its conversations, it's going to tell you some things about you that you didn't know. And you have to tell it to be honest. Like, don't fluff it up. I'm sorry if I'm showing too much boob. Anyway, you have to tell it to be honest. And then it's going to go through the patterns of speaking, and it's going to tell you your biggest weaknesses and your biggest strengths. And for me, I have something called integrated complex personality. So a lot of people take their different lives, their different parts of their lives, like my business, my filmmaking, my YouTube. I would have them all in these little boxes. It's compartmentalized. I don't know how to say the right one. It's putting them in little slots, right? But me, I connect to all my lives together. Like my business, I vlog my business while talking about spooky things. And the AI told me that is my biggest strength and my biggest weakness, because a lot of people don't think like me. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. I just think that I see patterns in things that not a lot of people see. And I'm not saying like it's a superhero power, but that's just, I connect everything in my life together, and in the center is me. Now, chaos theory is a branch of mathematics and science studying complex, nonlinear systems governed by deterministic laws. Its defining feature is extreme sensitivity to initial conditions, meaning tiny, almost unnoticeable changes, and a starting point that can spiral into vastly different, unpredictable long-term outcomes. And there's also something called chaos magic. I gotta go to part 2. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about that today because I don't know how much I believe in where the stars and the moon and the alignment and the personality. I'm 50-50 on it, right? I do think it's kind of crazy when stars and moons are in this position and someone's born, then there's suddenly this person in the astrology chart based on these characteristics. But if you want to dive deep, that has a lot to do with chaos theory, how the worlds and the space is all connected, and the moons and the stars. So honestly, the zodiac would make sense. And I am a Cancer, and right now it's in Mercury retrograde. Please don't ask me what that is. You'll have to ask my daughter. She gets into that. But it's supposed to be like chaotic. Mercury retrograde, but in the Cancer moon. So all Cancers are supposed to be going through some kind of weird transformation. And my friend, Paige, is a Cancer, and her fiance is a Cancer too. And we are all going through something really weird. Like, we're just feeling something really weird. And I don't know. I think that's something that I wanted to talk about because, I talk about chaos theory, and it bleeds into quantum physics and chaos magic and all this stuff, mathematicians. And anytime I bring it up, people feel like away. They're like, well, you're not chaos theory. Like it's my ego speaking. Like, I think that I'm really cool because I feel like chaos theory is a way of life. Honestly, if you want to be completely honest, I think the entire world and universe is complete chaos. And it is the mathematical pattern of the entire universe, including space, stars, and moons, everything. And that's why, even if you're not a mystical, pagan, Wicca guru, where the stars and the moon and the time of day where you are born, it would make sense that you have these characteristics, you know? I don't know what you want to call it. Is it magic? Is it science? I don't know. But I do know that people really do fall into these characteristics. Like, my husband's a Scorpio. I promise you, he acts like a Scorpio. I have a best friend who's a Leo. He acts like a Leo. And that's chaotic. But my AI also told me that when I talk on my YouTube channel, that I put all these situations and patterns into my channel and make it more complicated than it needs to be. And I need to learn how to simplify things. But I can't do that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try after today. But I do want to say that, like, seeing the world in all these patterns interconnected, and then having a YouTube channel and trying to explain to you how everything is connected together is extremely hard, but it does explain how it's related to chaos theory. I'm back, and I don't know where I left off at because my phone started ringing and it turned off. But I was saying that I think it's really cool that chaos theory seems to be a part of everyday life. And I was saying that you should Google it and take a look at it. Maybe watch the movie Butterfly Effect and just see if you could see something that you didn't see before with your life. Like, where does all of these different things in your life meet and interconnect together? Because it's a pattern, and that at its core is chaos. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. But I also said, and I don't know if I had this on the last video, that I have to learn to be more simplistic in the way I speak to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to not have an integrated complex personality, which means that I take all of my worlds and tie them together and assume that you know how to work that out. I'm going to just talk about one thing. That's going to be my goal with this YouTube channel moving forward. But I did want to tell you about my whole chaos obsession, the mathematics of it all. I did get into the mathematics when I was younger, believe it or not. I love math. It's like one of my favorite subjects. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, I'm actually good at it. A lot of people think mathematically, and then there are other people that think abstractly, almost like two different sides of your brain. I don't know if that's true, but I have noticed there are certain people that like math better than others. Are you one of those people? I'm curious. Tell me what you think about all this, because I do know it's a really big, complex thing to talk about, but it's also a really simplistic thing to talk about. Like, I don't find it hard to talk about at all. It's lots of cool stuff. There's what is chaos theory, fractional foundation, real world application, meteorology, biology and medicine, economy. See, chaos theory really does go into everything. So it does seem like it's complicated, but it's not. It's everything. It's the pattern of how everything is connected. And one tiny thing that can be altered in any of the lives will affect everything, because everything is connected. Yeah, that was the easiest way to explain it, I suppose. I can't really go about showing you some mathematical equations, and I don't think you would appreciate that. Maybe some of you would, but I'm not about to do that. I do know that pi 3.14 is related to that somehow, some way, but it's been a second since I looked it up. I did get into that for a hot minute. Okay, I think I've done enough rambling. I love chaos theory. I want to one day talk about it again. I do think it has something to do with paranormalness. Believe it or not, it explains why energy is trapped in universes and doing unusual things that can be explained by humans as paranormal. But anyway, I hope you're having an amazing Monday. Mine is a little chaotic, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Think about subscribing, liking, leaving a comment if there's anything you want me to talk about, cover. Today's a little off whack, but I'm going to jump back onto my true crime tomorrow. I really enjoy this 30 days of YouTube, but at the same time, it's been a very big challenge. And I'm going to get through it, and hopefully I'll figure out what you guys like. But anyway, stay safe, stay spooky. Remember, everything's connected. One thing goes wrong in your life, it will affect the others. Unless you compartmentalize. I don't know how to say that word. All right, anyway, bye.